Each new season is a new opportunity to improve on controller. I'm going to give you the best tips to take advantage of this opportunity and improve drastically over the course of the season. The number one way you can support the channel is using code JKC in the Fortnite item shop, so pop it in and let's go. Although controller players definitely can have as good mechanics as keyboard and mouse players, in most cases if you took one random keyboard player and one random controller player, the keyboard player is likely to be faster. I can speak for this myself as a hybrid player because I found it far easier to become faster at keyboard. Although this is the case, there are definitely ways for controller players to win fights against players that are faster mechanically than them. I personally did this a lot back in the day, when my mechanics were subpar. I would simplify the game for myself and try and focus on what Fortnite is really about, which is shooting. Although it can sometimes feel different, Fortnite is a FPS game or a shooter, and the main mechanic is aim. Many people with good mechanics are flashy and open edits that they shouldn't, and open edits that leave them too far exposed. As well as this, they're probably more focused on how they finish the fight rather than if they finish the fight. You can take advantage of their sloppy edits that look good and hold your gun out in anticipation for these bad edits. A pre-fire is the best friend of a player with average mechanics, and a lot of these times in game, you don't even need world-class mechanics to finish these fights. Just game sense and good aim. I have finished off hundreds of players in game that would have 100-0'd me 100% in creative build fights, but I took advantage of their bad peaks and their need to look flashy and hit clips. That being said, although you don't need top tier mechanics to improve drastically on controller this season, some basic mechanics, builds and high ground retakes would be good. If you really think about it, this is what controller players are known for, all the way back to Face Sway. High ground retakes have been part of the controller player's game. If you want to practice your high ground retakes with low ping, then play the JKC Zero Delay Freeboard map. These are free high ground retakes you can do if you've no idea what to do. For number one, you're going to place a ramp, place a wall behind it, and slowly, pulling a crosshair in a circle, drag walls around one side of the ramp. Then you're free to place a ramp over the top of you and then edit through the wall in front. For number two, you can do the same move to start with, but instead of editing the wall through, you can grab an edit on the ramp above you and flip it so it goes towards the walls where you can move upwards. I like this one because you can do it over and over again. For the third one, we're going to place a cone above us while standing on a ramp, and then we're going to move to the side, place a wall and ramp there. You can drag the walls around and place a ramp above you. Once you've edited through the wall, you can either do it again either the same way or a different way. Getting these three down is going to improve your fighting and your retakes for Fortnite Season 4. If you're finding these useful so far, then make sure you put notifications on for this channel, as I stream sometimes and I wouldn't want you to miss it. I play with viewers. If you're struggling so far this season on controller, then it might not be your fault in particular. In Fortnite, some guns really favour keyboard and mouse players, and some guns are a lot better for controller players. You need to make sure you're picking the right ones for controller players, or you're going to see your aim and fighting suffer this season. A good example of this is the SMGs. The scoped burst SMG is not a good controller gun because it has a lot of recoil, and controller's ADS sense or aim down sight sense is normally quite low, so following people around in the air with this gun is not going to be fun. So instead of the scope burst SMG, you're going to use the combat SMG as a controller player. This is the best SMG as a controller player because there's not as much recoil, it is quite controllable, and there's no scope on the weapon. You've got to be making sure you're using the right guns for your input, as well as using the right guns for you. Think about your playstyle. If you like jumping in people's boxes, maybe the Maven's for you. But if you like taking peek shots and making smart edits, maybe you should try out the sharp tooth shotgun. These are two very different playstyles, and if you don't know the one that you are, then maybe you should look back at your last couple games and see what you're trying to do in fights. I said earlier that controller players are slow editors most of the time, but you can learn to speed up your controller editing with this video on the screen right now. Go watch it, ladies and gentlemen, because it is a banger, trust me.